toiletries, fridge, wall carpet, safekeeping box, and hizo ni ngapi?
Hizo ni 4.
And Wi-Fi, is it there?
Imebaki moja. There are 5. There are 5. I wanted 6.
You said 5.
I said 5.
Yeah.
Okay, sawa sawa. Siwezi nyimana. So I think you'll come for your voucher. Na sijui utatafuta nani wa kukua na yeye hiyo siku. Juu nina kutaka na mtu huko. So unajua tuko wapi? Membe moja. Okay.
Along the Kisumu Kakamega highway.
That is perfect. So we are okay. She'll get a voucher for bed and breakfast for 2. And the breakfast is continental breakfast. So nipatie mtu wako saizi. Either it's a sister, a brother, or anything you want to, anyone you want to come with. So karibu sana Lovely Garden. Come experience our accommodation, breakfast and everything. Asanteni sana. The rest bado ziko hapa zijaisha. So Google, fanyeni kila kitu. I'm coming back in a few. And hizi sasa ni noma, wacheni na hizo zenye mmepata. Sawa sawa. Okay, thank you so much and God bless you.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful way to start the day. Tebu apatieni makofi kama sponsors wa leo. Si wametuchangamsha kabisa kabisa. Ama hamjachangamka bado? Ati? Hamjachangamka bado? Mlikuwa mnataka izidi kuendelea? Aha, ili iendelee, I want to invite our keynote speaker to give us his address for the day. So pia tukue attentive. You don't know what might follow. Karibu Mr. James. Thank you.
Woza. Kwaje? Mko poa kweli? I started working in my 3rd year. Wangapi wanaamini kuna kazi? Wangapi wanaamini bora uhai? My name is James Odhiambo. I come from Sustainable Rural Initiatives, abbreviated as SRI. Hope mmepata hapo, naona mko keen mnaandika. Nika Lovely Gardens watawakumbuka. So first of all, I would like to say that this life, one of my mentors told me, it's like an ocean. Once you are thrown in, there are only 2 options. Nani anaweza niambia option 1? Yes. Wewe umenoa lakini you are above Gen Z na umeiba mtihani, you are expelled with immediate effect. Actually, she is right. There are 2 options. You either sit and drown or become aggressive by swimming. And by swimming, you talk in such fora. You apply for opportunities. You start your own innovations. Like we were told yesterday, that Kisumu County is still not well branded. So I'm looking forward to somebody who will start doing those, hi guys, my name is, si mnajua hizo tagline za TikTok nini, nakumbukatia Mungai hivi. Hi guys, my name is Eve Mungai, sindio? Yes. So today, we are in day 2, and allow me to use my phone as a prompter. Today we'll be talking about the general overview of sustainability, but also we'll be focusing on the value of stakeholder engagement. When we talk about these topics, they are not quite new topics with you. I know these are things that we interact with every day. We are just building on the overarching topic of, or the theme of the week, which is the theme of the week? Irene? Which is the theme of the week? Hapa hivi, acha tuende hapa hivi, kuna uporobe zingine hapa.
Nani anapewa mic hapa?
The theme of the week?
Tourism and sustainable development for the youths.
Amejaribu. Bado kulikuwa na msaidizi huku, but ni sawa, jaribu.
Stakeholders engagement for sustainability. Theme of the week.
Wewe.
Youth.
Umejaribu. Aya,
Wacha nirudi huku.
turudi huku. Kuna save hapa. Kuna
Wapi?
save
Hapa.
hapa. Yes.
Tourism and sustainable transformation.
Very right. Tumpigie
Correct,
makofi.
correct.
That's correct. Irene, utafanya vile ulifanya
Zawadi
jana.
yako iko
Zawadi yake iko sawa sawa. Tunajua
Yes,
ni
iko.
wewe wa spec na green. Hakuna gentleman mwingine amevaa green leo apart from KWS. So, according to sustainability pioneer, who is he? Sustainability pioneer is called Gro Harlem Brundtland. Alisema nini? Gro Harlem Brundtland alisema sustainability development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The needs of millennials na needs za Gen Z, are they the same? They are quite different, sindio? But the millennials had their sustainability approaches that they did at their own time. Then majenzi wakakuja wakafanya ile kitu wakaturn tables hadi wakaenda wakagreet Mr. Speaker sir, sindio? Yes, so the needs of sustainability changes with the generational demand or requirement. If you look at our region, it is uniquely blessed. Kisumu is uniquely blessed with a rich culture. Nani hataki kuwa Mjaluo? Nani hataki? Wewe utaki? There's nobody who doesn't want to be a Luo. We have a rich culture. We have extraordinary biodiversity. Hii lake yote, imagine hata Homa Bay wako na lake, hata Uganda wako na lake, lakini ya Kisumu ndio kila mtu anajua. And you know Homa Bay has the biggest space or chunk of the lake. But ya Kisumu ndio kila mtu anakuja kuona, si ndio? So we have a very extraordinary biodiversity. We have vast opportunities. Who knew ungekuja hapa tourism week leo? Si kuna wengine saa hii wanakunywa cold power pale shule, si ndio? Shopping imeisha, wanaangalia tu shelf na simu, wifi pia najua za zingine iwork. Si ndio? Then we have custodians, we are the custodians of Lake Victoria and the blue economy. So the blue economy offers arrays of opportunities for you. You can do very nice things. Like for me, I'm a research and a policy fellow. So I'll be willing to partner with Dr. Mwangi here to just do research why the western part is not receiving a lot of visitors. Then we recommend the findings to the county government so that they're able to implement. Simuliona tuko na very able waziri, si ndio? Wangapi waliona waziri jana? Kila mtu. So the other thing I wanted to say is when you look at sustainability, we're also focusing on the balance between the environmental conservation, and we're also looking at economic viability and social inclusivity to ensure tourism delivers benefits today and secures the future for generations to come. So when we are focusing on tourism, we do not cut trees. It means to conserve the environment. We do not focus on tourism and still emit a lot of pollutions, nini, in the environment. Tourism is a whole sector value chain that you can choose, whether you want to be in transport sector, you want to be in the videography or the branding sector and marketing. It is a whole value chain. Yesterday, we learned two things that caught my attention. One was turning.
Turning threats into opportunities.
Very correct. And the other turning was, ukimalizia hiyo hata mimi nitakuombea hii gift ya Lovely Gardens. No, yeye tu ndiye akimaliza, ashasema moja. But akimaliza, usimwambie Lovely Gardens kwa mapenzi yenu. Hii naomba. The other one was
Turning west into
going once, going twice. Aya. Hata binguni usikue hivyo. Imeenda, imekataa. Oh, you've tried.
turning west into cash.
You've tried. You've tried. Irene, tafadhali hao watu wawili na waombea
Yes.
wasiende bure. The other one was turning talent into enterprise. So everything is about your talent. Everything is about your passion. In HR, we say we employ passion. Skills can be trained. If you have passion, if you have discipline, we can train you to do what we want you to do. Sawa sawa. If you look at the challenges that we are facing as Kisumu County, one of the challenges is poor branding. It's like tumewachia county maybe the whole thing of branding. The other day I saw a very nice video of Jalas branding the Milimani of Kisumu. Mbona atoke tu Nairobi akuje kutufanyia branding? We can't do it ourselves. The other challenge we are facing is a limited range of diversity. Apart from what we are offering in museum, can we offer another thing? Anybody who has an idea that we can integrate in museum to bring us more visitors? Siku hizi nikaa tumeachia watoto wa shule. Nikiingia asubuhi niliona buses kaa mbili. It has been that throughout the week. Is there any other thing that we can integrate in museum so that we increase the flow of visitors? Then the other thing is inadequate infrastructure to support growth. In the hotel industry, I think Kisumu is doing very well. Nightlife in Kisumu is very superb. Top notch, sindio? Usherati, sindio? Watu wengine wanasema hivyo, sio mimi. But sasa, hizi areas zingine, mbona tusikuje tuone hizi, I mean hao wanyama wetu. How many, I wish we could get the data from the KWS of how many guests we receive even in a week, in museum, in Impala. Personally, I bring a lot of visitors to these areas. Wanatoka Netherlands, wanakuja huku. And the luckiest thing, they pay a lot. For us Kenyans, tunaambiwa wewe ni Mkenya utalipa kidogo. For the last 1 year, how many of us here have visited any park or museum? Apart from hapa. How many? In Kisumu, how many? Na ukidanganya ni Mungu anakuona. Which one?
Impala.
Impala. What did you see in Impala?
Lions. Giraffe.
How many lions did you see?
3 lions.
Tuko na mtu wa Impala. Tutajua tu. Are they 3? Yes. Okay. Then that is okay. All those are things that we can use to promote sustainability. When we do those videography, let us bank on the challenges that I've mentioned, but also how can we increase the value of stakeholder engagement? We can increase the value of stakeholder engagement through inclusion and collaboration efforts for all stakeholders so that we work together to increase issues around awareness. Young people, we can use our technology skills. I know time. The public and private sector, we can harmonize the policies to favor the entrepreneurs, from the young people to the companies. Then the government partners, we can create enabling policies. Also the public and the private, we can increase waste management so that as we grow, even our infrastructure, then we are able to manage our wastes within Kisumu County. Today we'll be learning about green and blue economy, and we will also be learning about social equity. Then the third one will be cultural exchange. Those are vast areas that we have not really tackled. But my call to action is to encourage you from Wangari Maathai, who said, in the course of history, there comes a time when humanity is called to shift to a new level of consciousness. That time is now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause to our keynote speaker. Ikuwe mzito. Ai jamani. Ama hajaangusha wisdom? Bado? Aendelee? Ha? He, walai. Ni kama Lovely Gardens. Sijui tuwaachie nyinyi ndio mkuwe mnawachangamsha tu throughout. Ha? That is our keynote speaker. Thank you so much, Mr. James, for that and for inspiring the youths amidst us. I want us to proceed with the session. James is still around. I know Akona session, and he knows. I want to give this opportunity to our able panelists to introduce themselves so that we get to know each and every one of them. Kindly introduce yourselves, then we can begin the program from there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cleopatra Dwar. I'm the head of programs at Isafiri Charging Limited. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Again, tulikuwa na nyinyi jana. My name is Dave OJ. Again, I'm a water activist and the director of the NAM Festival. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Hilda Nyaboke. I am a research scientist. I work with the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, and I'm a sports fishing enthusiast. So we'll talk about that.
Good morning. I'm Felix Odembo Akelo. I work with the county government of Kisumu. I'm energy and environmental specialist from the Department of Energy, Transport, Roads and Public Works. You're going to talk.
Thank you so much, our panel. You can just hold the mic still. I want to know from our audience. Today we want to talk about green and blue economy. Green economy ni nini? Do you understand what green economy is before we even tell our panel to dive deeper? Nani anajua green economy? Who can talk about the green economy? What can you say? What is green economy? We see if we are in the same line.
Okay, my understanding about green economy, it focuses on sustainability on land-based resources. Yeah, land-based resources.
Mm-hmm. Our panel, you are satisfied? Ama you still want green economy? Mtu mwingine? Besides you. We? Hapa kuna mtu?
Green economy, it's about growing the economy in a way that becomes eco-friendly to living things. It also includes being socially fair and sustainable.
Social inclusion, okay. Nani anajua blue economy? Blue economy ni nini? We, rada? Blue economy ni nini?
It's the sustainable use of the oceans, the lakes to bring more awareness.
Mm-hmm. Blue economy, who else? Okay, sawa tu.
From my point of view, I think blue economy deals with water-based resources, that is marine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just about anything that lives in water resources, that is.
Our panel, who would want to tell them about green economy and
blue? Habari zenu. But msiogope, mnaweza tumia Google. There's a lot of resources. Don't get stuck. Green economy basically is low carbon and resilient infrastructure that is socially inclusive. So across sectors, and najua mtuongea to some of them just Google. Yes.
Okay, for blue economy, yes, blue refers to water, but who knows why we call water blue? Is water blue when you drink it? No. So the reason why we call it blue economy to refer to water and marine resources is because I'll take you back to a bit of physics. Wakati, when the sun is, reflecting from up down, it sends down. Mnasikia UV, you've heard of UV rays, that's why you're told Ikifika masaa fulani, don't stay too much in the sun because of the UV, you get sunburns. Yeah, so when those, they're called wavelengths, when they come from the sun and hit the earth's surface, depending kama zimeenda kwa maji ama kwa nyasi, the moment they get into the water, so and remember the UV rays, just like you have the rainbow. Rainbow has all the 7 colors. So it has all those colors. Just unasikia sometimes kuna X-ray, nini. All those ni wavelengths tofauti zinakuja. So the blue ones are the ones that they get into the water, then zinascatter pale ndani and they're reflected back so that as a human eye, you can be able to see it. Because after sometimes when you have X-ray, you cannot see the X-ray themselves going through your body, but unaambiwa you have to take care because of the rays that can harm your body. Yeah. So those blue ones are the ones that are reflected back from the water surface, and we call it blue.
Tumesikia hiyo?
Oh, and the economy part of it are any activity that you can do in this blue resource. Of course, this one ranges from kawaida hapa, like in the area where we stay, people know about fishing, but fishing is not the only activity we have in the lake here. We have maritime transport, and we have people, we have local tour operators, what you call blue tourism. Come on, if you go to Dunga, if you're within Kisumu town, if you go there, you find small boats, people doing small trips around the water. Yeah, that is blue tourism. Then also you find we have shipping companies coming in. Right now we have the port of Kisumu here with us. It was our government spent a lot of money to rehabilitate it and bring it up to speed, because the port has been here for over 100 years in the city of Kisumu. That time it was connecting people from here to Entebbe, all the way to the southern parts of Tanzania. Yeah, and if you remember, some of the names of the beaches in the lake, like Port Victoria. Port Victoria ilitoka wapi? Victoria is not a traditional Luo name in the region, no. Yeah, so you find during those long voyages that people would take, so some of these areas adopted those English names because of the length of time that our lake has taken, or our port here has been serving the region, yeah. Oh, and again, also we have water abstraction from the lake here happening. You know, all Kiwasco gets water from the lake here. They do the treatment and we're able to supply the city of Kisumu. Yeah, so those are different blue economy activities, and maybe we can talk about more as we continue discussing this.
Thank you so much. That is a lot of information. I hope tumepata hiyo yote, si ndio? Yes, I'd like to give the opportunity to Cleo from Isafiri. Please talk to us about what you have prepared for us today before we ask you the few questions we have.
Good morning once more. Mmechangamka? Okay. I want to tell you about...
It's okay. If you're comfortable sitting.
Let me just stand. I would like to tell you about renewable energy and e-mobility. That is what Isafiri is about. Isafiri is a female-founded startup in Kenya, based in Kisumu, and we are providing innovative renewable energy solutions to the rural and peri-urban areas. Our vision is to reduce carbon emissions in the mobility sector. Our products include electric vehicles. By electric vehicles, I mean vehicles that are powered by electric motors through electricity from a rechargeable battery. Just behind you, that is our booth, and we have an EV there. So maybe after the session, you can have a look to have a practical experience about our products. So our business entails, one, sale of electric vehicles, and we provide mobility needs through the sale and lease of electric vehicles. So as we provide the two-wheelers, you know, as the electric motorbike, and the three-wheelers, we refer to them as the tuk-tuk. Two, we also set up solar power charging hubs. So we maximize on renewable energy, majorly solar, to power our charging stations. Three, we also offer cold storage solutions. By cold storage, I mean the cold room and the ice makers, where they're installed or designed inside our hubs, and it is used to preserve food, fish or perishable foods, also in the agricultural sector. Our CSR approach, corporate social responsibility, involves, one, training and capacity building for women and youth. we are trying to unlock women opportunities in the mobility sector. So we are supporting the driving school. We are supporting the driving school or paying for school fees for women interested to obtain driving license so that they are able to operate the two-wheelers or the three-wheelers. Also, we do R&D, research and development with educational institutions. We've worked so far with Maseno. We are looking to work with other institutions too on data collection, on research, on the batteries. We explore and find solutions. So my presentation was to connect or indicate how can the tourism sector benefit from our products. I've said we're dealing with electric vehicles and the charging stations. So our solar hubs and the EVs can contribute to a greener and a more resilient tourism ecosystem. One by providing tourism mobility needs to the tourism sector. One, tourists can use our EVs, that is the two-wheelers, the piki-piki or the motorbike, or the tuk-tuk, while moving around in town to the resorts. And in that, we will be reducing carbon emissions. It will be affordable. It is quiet. Piki-piki zetu hazina kelele, ama tuk-tuk. It is silent. How many of you have seen or interacted with an electric vehicle? Piki-piki. Wangapi? Okay, that's good. If you're aware, hazina kelele, so it is quiet, zero carbon emissions, and very affordable. Two, we are setting up something called a renewable charging station. At the station, we have solar panels, we have an inverter, and we have a battery for backup. So there we purely operate on solar. We don't depend on grid to power our batteries or charging of the EVs. So through that, when tourists come maybe to Dunga, because we have a charging station at Dunga, when they come, they can see we are trying to adopt sustainability. And also in those hubs, we have, we are also on the productive uses of energy. So we do charge devices. We offer the cold storage solutions to the community. So this can enhance tourist experience in such a location. I can say from experience in Dunga, where we've set up, each and every time we have a tourist or an international traveler around, they will always pass our hub to know what is going on, and they convey the message that we are promoting green economy. Three, to the, let me say, to the tourist hubs, they can market themselves by adopting the EVs. They can use them as tours when tourists come around, and it will promote and reduce zero emissions. I think I'll remember more during our discussions. So that's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cleo. Thank you so much, Cleo. You can have your seat. As Cleo sits, I'd like to link what Cleo from Isafiri has talked about, and I'd like to pose the next discussion to Mr. Felix from the Department of Energy. We have heard what Isafiri has said, and so far reduction of carbon emission, and all this lies to as well technology coming into play, and currently that is also big in ensuring sustainability in the sector. Sitting at where you sit, what will you say are the successes right now, and what are the existing opportunities that we'll still see? We are trying, but bado tukaze kamba.
I think what I could just say for the beginning is from the topic we discussed. Of course, energy, transport, infrastructure issues are across blue and green economy. But now today I'll lean more on the green economy side so that it's able to link to the question of being asked. And we say that green economy basically is an environmental friendly economy. Environment means we're talking about low carbon, what we're being told already. We're talking about resilient infrastructure to climate change, and also talking about social inclusion, which I think you're seeing here, which involves different age groups. So that is basically the whole point. And from the energy side or the county side, we have a roadmap towards 100% renewable energy transition up to 2050. And that roadmap is covering issues on transport. We're hearing about e-mobility. We're hearing about infrastructure. We're talking about green buildings. We're going to talk about the issues of clean cooking. I mean, everybody eats food when you go to tour. And we also talk about electricity. You heard Isafiri is talking about electricity coming from solar. So what are we saying? We're basically saying that in our end, we're looking at decarbonization, basically. And it's an issue of reducing carbon emission, greenhouse gas emissions, to be more specific. Also, we're looking at the issue of ozone depleting appliances. I'm saying that because you asked for successes. So the first success is that roadmap, which means every one of you, if you want to do anything within the tourism space, I'm assuming all these are tourism or tourists. I don't know, but I'm just assuming. So either way, we are together. We also like traveling, like you. So what happens is if you're doing your work, just make sure that it's not emitting greenhouse gas emissions. That's the basic thing. So whether you're building, whether you're cooking, whether you're transporting, whether you're wearing, I know there's even clothes that people wear. Yeah. They're green clothes. I mean, if you're all that. So our success basically is that roadmap, number one. Number two is what we're talking about, I think, on e-mobility, because apart from Isafiri, we're doing a lot of work, and I know Kisumu is on top as a subnational. The other success we have is we're having appliances like I know ACs. I know I was trying to figure out before you came here, I'm trying to be very practical because if you are in a room that you can't be in because it's too hot during the day, you might need to do cooling or heating. That's an AC. So what kind of AC do you put in that room? We are saying that we're talking about ozone depleting or limited ACs for use, and the county is already having some in our health facilities. I know I'm linking this because specifically to tourism, it means that you want to have somebody come and live in a good environment. What we're being told, even by, I think, Lovely Garden, I know they're giving you very good stories. But if you look at now classifying what they're giving, back they look at now the emissions or the standards in terms of energy standards in buildings. A normal grade building, because if you go to a hotel, you expect to use water, you expect to use energy, and you expect to have a building that is constructed. What kind of material do you use in the construction? What kind of water? If you go to when you member mwende kwa hoteli, ukienda kwa hiyo cistern kwa choo, sorry, everyone goes there, kuna buttons mbili. So if you talk about water efficiency in hotel industry, umeenda ku flush choo, kuna ile button ndogo na kubwa. If you go and continue using the small button and you still finish your process, now that you're being basically practically energy efficient. Ukienda kwa hoteli, some of them have these sensors, that you're able to light when you're moving, motion sensor. That is energy efficiency. Some of them you find that they're solar powered, and some of them are powered by maybe. So you don't want to go to a hotel and the backup is on a genset generator. You want to start going on the other side and putting backups, like what Isafiri is doing. Now they're putting the source of power for the chargers on solar. That is what you are saying. So you just have to be practical about this. We're talking about also the issue. I think I've covered everything for now.
We'll take questions after. Mm-hmm.
I would like to throw a spanner into the works, specifically to the academia and researchers. We have very good policies as a country. The problem is implementation. We talk about them in forums such as this, beautifully, we add color to it. The problem is implementation. Number two, to the academia. These are students. How are we able to translate the knowledge from classrooms into actualization? How do we enable them? We teach them very good things, in hospitality and tourism. But these guys are not enabled to be able to practice these things outside there. So even as we discuss sustainability in that angle, by the way, let me just tell you, Kisumu County is overtaking Mombasa in tuk-tuk business. They are chaotic here in town. So I don't really think the policy is the first step. What is the roadmap? What is the implementation procedure? Is it going to work for us 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line? As we discuss this, I would ask the panelists, let us be realistic and deal with issues and enable our students to bring the knowledge that we give them in classrooms about blue economy into practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You'd like to address?
Yes, I will beg to continue talking. I just stopped talking, so now you've picked what I didn't want to say because I thought that, sorry, but I'm going to say it because you've asked. You've asked to put things into practice. I am personal in a lot of spaces, and the first thing I can say is right now as we speak, you mentioned tuk-tuks. I was not able to be here yesterday. I think we were doing Clio. And what you're saying is already even tuk-tuks are going to be here electric powered. What you're saying is we're doing projects with some partners, and what is happening is we're doing mapping. You're talking about students. Maybe when you're doing mapping and you want, let's say, you want enumerators, you want to be able to collect data, you experience some of these things on the field. We have a project going on, I think, with the World Resources Institute, and it's about the called Zero Emission and Resilient Building Accelerator. What we're saying is basically what we're discussing. How do we engage? You've asked specifically for how to engage the students, and I'll just take that head on, because I know maybe in October or something, the World Resource Institute is supposed to come here, and we're supposed to, what we've agreed on with them, is to link our work with one of the universities in the town, in the city. So we'll identify one, maybe you'll give me one you're proposing. Then they will directly see impact in terms of how do they work with people on the field. But we're doing work. The only thing I said is if I start saying that now, I will have the whole session.
The issue of climate restoration using mangroves. Mangroves are the trees that grow at the tide zone. Because you know the tide waters from the ocean, they're salty. There are salty waters there. And what makes them salty is what we call salinity. So in a part of that, a normal tree like this one here will not do well in that environment. But we have trees that we've been able to study and find that they do better there. So what happens is we're trying to replace the lost riparian zone, or the zone between the water and the land, or what they're calling riparian area. And they're trying to replant climate-friendly mangrove species. Because these trees, again, what we have, communities at the coast have coming in groups, youth groups, women groups, that we're able to advise them that this tree, you can exploit it. Maybe you could pay company poles for construction and for wood and all that. And so you find community initiatives whereby people are involved in what we call carbon credit. Carbon credit, I don't know wangapi wamesikia. Who knows what carbon credit is? Ama tunajua ile ya green, but okay, maybe the people can try. Carbon credit. Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. Okay, carbon credit. Okay, thank you. Carbon credit is a type of permit that allows maybe a specific company to emit a certain gas, or specifically the carbon gas.
He's reminding me you talked about it yesterday. Anyway, yeah, so what happens, you find when you cut trees, kama mnakumbuka our science from long time ago, what do trees do, or plants? They give us oxygen, which you breathe. And then in turn, they take in the carbon dioxide. So what the world is doing, because sometimes we cannot operate alone. You have to look at the global perspective, global dynamics, what's happening out there in the world, so that you're not left alone. So you find people, or some countries, what they do is they engage in these practices whereby they maintain the forest, or they do replanting, and yeah, basically the replanting of the forest, of the green, or what you're calling the green. Yes, yeah, so that if, for example, an industrialized country somewhere, without naming any country, is emitting a lot of this greenhouse, go out there to do damage to the ozone layer or to the environment, the sun. If it continues to be depleted, what happens? Those dangerous rays come through. Just like when you're told, when you go for, if you're taking a patient to X-ray, you're told If you must be in that room, what happens? You're given some protective thing to wear, protectors, yes. So that is what the ozone layer does for us, to prevent that bad sun or the rays from coming to us. So you find, so these are initiatives that we are doing to promote, the joining in between the green and the blue space. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, very well. OJ, before you get to the mic, because I also want you to talk about the relations, but from the works you do at NAM as well. Madam Hilda, as you still hold on the mic, please tell us what are some of the challenges you see maybe in ensuring sustainability. As we look at the theme, tourism and sustainable transformation, what are the challenges that are there currently that is making us not achieve this fully? And are we seeing any improvements in the sector?
All right. I think that one of the biggest challenges to sustainability is whereby you have exploitation or over-exploitation of a certain resource, which is why it calls for the diversification of the tourism product, so that people don't just focus on one particular item. For example, I want to challenge the youths and our people within Kisumu here, who only know that the only tourism you can do down there is just take people for a boat ride. I think it's just boat ride.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah, so there is need for us to think of ways to diversify the tourism products. Of course, when we do that, we're able to create more jobs and promote the aspect of sustainability.
Tourism, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. The reason that question is coming up is since we started, we have been encouraging our fellow youths to actually take up opportunities in the spaces. And one of the ways is to identify the challenges that exist. And since this is the academia, there are students, they are in these spaces, this is the right time for you to actually go back, think that these are some of the challenges that were mentioned, and what can I venture into, what can I look into. These are places for you to write proposals and submit and say, this is what the research you want to do. And I believe if you go to your lecturer and they go to Madam Hilda, they will gladly receive your proposals and work together with you so that you submit something. That is the reason why I keep asking the challenges, so that they can spot the opportunities and come. And we've said involvement, inclusion is what can ensure that we have sustainable transformation. Thank you so much, Madam Hilda. Yes, you can finish.
Oh yes. So in the spirit of transformation, some time back, our institute, we looked at the issue of sports fishing. Who knows sports fishing? Or recreational fishing?
Who wants to try? James?
From my understanding, sport fishing is fishing for fun.
Yeah, you got it right. And sports fishing dates all the way back to I think it was 1426 when it started. By that time, people were not really open to it because it was seen as this is for only the rich people or the noble people in the society. And you find that coming down to the 15th century in Japan, where we had fly fishing, it was reserved for warriors. You know, when you were a warrior those days, you are treated very well in a special way. So the common man would not do it. So coming down to Kenya, we have it, of course, in the Kenyan coast. And we went into, or we undertook efforts to see if we still have it in the inland waters. That is from Ukitoka, Badeas, all the way. We're trying to link it with tourism activities, because it is mainly tourists who do that. And perhaps we believe that sport fishing or recreational fishing is meant for the big people. That's not the case. One of the challenges we learned during that process was that sport fishing was very rampant during the colonial era, those 1930s, 1940s. So what happened when we got our independence? You find that during those days, like in Trans Nzoia County, for example, they had dams that had been built specifically to support this trout fishing, because it's a cold area. So unapata pale that the fishes that you go to fish out for sports were mainly the trout that were introduced into our waters, because they're not a native African fish. They were brought in here. But to find that those places were being abandoned, and I think the county engaged us to see how these water resources, like the dams, if they're just left open like that, they become a danger to the community and to everybody around there. Yes, so there was need to relook if the potential still lies there, and how we connect this to the Western tourism circuits. That, for example, if you have people where our people coming in, I'm talking of the international tourists, then we come to us, the domestic tourists, because this is not only meant for the people out there, even us, we can be our own tourists and enjoy our resources. Take, for example, the city of Kisumu here. We are blessed with an airport, international airport, which means people coming from Europe, wherever they come from, wanakuja Nairobi, JKI, then they take flights to Kisumu here. You can also come by road. We have good roads here. And we have the rail transport that, of course, is in the process of being upgraded. So we are looking at, if you want to promote tourism in this region, and then, of course, talk about the issue of transformation. How or what resources do we have? What challenges are we lacking? And what can be done to promote this particular aspect? Take, for instance, this one goes to the tour companies who are around or who may be listening to this. Most people you find, they organize the tour safaris. I don't know what they call them. But they take people to the Mara. But the challenge I'll give them today is, why not extend the people to these sites, to here? For example, or maybe if a tourist or a person is coming in through the airport here, we have the smaller airstrips, which of course I know the government is in the process of upgrading, like Kabundi in Homa Bay and so on, so that when somebody comes to Kisumu, to the city of Kisumu, you are able to visit our facilities like museum, Impala Park, and so on. And then if you don't want to take the roadwards, you can take the airstrip. But what about the domestic market that we have, which is our people here? Yeah. Yeah. So it seems we embrace this, this diversity in the products that we are able to produce. I think I'll leave it there for now.
Yes, Madam Hilda, thank you so much. We have talked about a lot. Before I continue and link whatever you've said to the next speaker, I'd like to make this announcement. Lovely Gardens Guest House has informed that they have notebooks and pens. And if you are in need of any, kindly you can see. They see you? Yes, to pick one. So don't be stranded. We have writing materials around. Dev OJ. When we talk about sustainable transformation, we have seen the linking, the relationship between the green and blue economy. You work a lot in the NAM, the lake. And I know you also bring in your creative perspective. We have seen those who have come across your work. We have seen how you bring the creativity into your work. Talk to us in terms of sustainable transformation and how we look at it in terms of future perspectives.
Okay. First, I would like to just say that sustainability is a way of life. It is what you do every day. It can be unsustainable or sustainable. And then coming back to the topic in question, and to link what you earlier alluded to me, land and water is the same. Because look at Earth. Scientists are telling us it is 71% water. And that 71% of water, only 3% is available for consumption. And that 3% that is available, so if you take the 70% and look at it as a whole, and call it our 100%, that 100%, 97% of it is water you and I cannot use for various reasons. Either it is salty or it is somewhere you cannot consume it. Now the 3% that we can consume, over 2%, maybe 2.1 or something, thereabout. Scientists in the house can correct me. Russia, that water is underground. You need a lot of resources. We have to dig boreholes. So come to the question of this 1% to drink. It's the one you can find in your rivers, clean ones, not contaminated rivers. Because at the end of the day, you're looking at dissolved oxygen in water to make aquatic life thrive and to make us also use that water. So now, coming to sustainability and the work we are doing, I always like to say that culture is the bond for any development. For anything to happen, there has to be culture. How many of us have heard about water spirits? Hata sahi maji itaitishiwa hapa, moto iki break out. Sindio? If there is fire, what will we look for? Water. Ile gari ikichemka, ni nini itatafutiwa? Maji. Wewe sahi ukichoka, ni nini utahitaji? Maji. So that tells you already that the common denominator to life is water. So land, water, everything, you name it, it has to start with water. And now, coming to water stories. Water stories show us our sustainability. For example, long ago, and this I learned from Professor Capio from Maseno, our traditions in water. Nani wanakumbuka samaki inaitwa obambla? Ilikuwa inakaushwa to help us include more tourism activities in our region. For example, right now, I was just looking through the socials and I was asking myself, there is something called LV Watson. The government people in the house, maybe Waziri, you can also help. There's something called LV Watson, Lake Victoria Water Sanitation something. It's the most recent investment the government partners and the local government are working on, which has costed about 10 billion that the Kisumu County is trying to pour so that they revolutionize water sector. And by that we mean, today if you go to Kiwasco, you have about 50,000 people you're giving water. And that 50,000, Kiwasco is doing a very good job. About 90% of their listing gets the service. But then let's look at the city itself and the population. And in the city, you see Kisumu has about 400 to 600,000 people. If you Google the metrics, it tells you Kisumu is a 1 million population city. But it's not really true. To me, with what we've been doing with our events and looking at our target audience, the city itself has about 400 to 600,000 people. And then the ring outside the city, we call it the outcast. That has the most number of people, about 1.5 million people. So Kisumu together has about 2-point-something million people. Now, those 2-point-something million people, 50,000 of them are on the grid. Can you see the gap? There's another millions of people who are doing water from other sources, not the formalized grid. Now, it comes back to my point on sustainability and culture. Yeah. As I wind up, it comes back to our point on sustainability and culture. How do we understand water testing, water conservation, and water reuse? For us to make it sustainable and to make the ecosystems around the blue economy work, it has to come down to your individual behavior and mind. Scientists are busy telling us things. Some we are understanding, some we are not. But water stories need to be told so that we can see our interconnectedness. Whether you are a maritime transport person, whether you are a fisherman, whether you are the average water user like Mama Mboga or a farmer, yes, all of us need to put our behaviors in such a way we engage in circularity. We can have nature-based resources. I mean, we can have nature-based methods like the papyrus, like the cocktail grasses or the hippograss. Those are gifts God has given us near waterways and wetlands that naturally purify water when it has been contaminated. If plants can do that, what can you and I do to make it sustainable? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dave. I'd like to have the mic to Madam Cleo from Isafiri. I want to give this opportunity to you to tell us, being in the green sector, are we seeing youth take up these opportunities? And if not, why are they not coming on board?
There are opportunities, there are green jobs in the renewable sector, renewable energy sector, and the e-mobility sector. I can give an example. The charging station I was talking about, we hire someone called a hub operator. A hub operator is someone who handles the battery charging and the battery swapping. It's like the fuel station, there's always an attendant who is working there. So for the side of the green economy, or on the green economy, we have our hub operators, we have engineers, electrical engineers, we have software engineers. The software come in handy in handling the technology. the apps, we need to do data collection, we need to do data management, because we need to know the energy consumption. Like us, we want to know how much we consume when it comes to the energy. We have opportunities for the hardware engineer, someone who is installing the hub, designing the hub. We have mechanics, people who handle the issues, or the technicians that arises. We have people, the technicians who handle the maintenance of the bikes. We have people who train the groups. I told you we do training and capacity building. So we have facilitators who train on renewable energy, on e-mobility. We want to engage the youth on R&D, on data collection. So there are opportunities, yes.
Are the youths taking it up? Are you seeing them being active in the space?
I can say in Isafiri, 98% of us are youth. I'm a youth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What has made it work for you in Isafiri?
I can say what has made work for me, I had a passion in the space, and I'm enthusiastic about sustainability, the clean energy. So I'm working in a space where I'm passionate about. So I give my all, and it's a new experience.
You have touched on what the keynote speaker today said. They're hiring passion and talent, but they can train skills, if I'm not wrong. That's it. Tumesikia hiyo. Yes, I think we're having the final round of this discussion, and maybe you had something you wanted to put clear, Mr. Felix.
I will start with a question, a quick one. I know you spoke and you're from Utali. I've tried to find out, but I just want to do a quick census. How many institutions do you have here from where you're coming from? Can somebody say maybe where you are from? Your institution that you're coming from, yes.
Jaramogi University. There's Masen University. Okay. Kenyatta University.
Okay, now I'll speak. Thank you. I know it's good to talk about action. So Maseno and Jaramogi, maybe I already had you in plan, so it's okay. What I would like to say is if you're linking what you're saying from our side, because linked to what we're even talking to them about, youth need to reach out. Don't just sit there and be afraid of these things. I just finished youth, I think, this month. So I'm a millennial, yes. So it means that when you're doing these things, they look juicy, but they're actually being done by young people all over the continent, all over the world. Now, if you look at spaces, ni vijana wanafanya vitu. Wachana maneno ya age. So, nyinyi pia vile mmekaa hapa, if you are speaking here and there's something you really want, don't keep quiet about it. Vile mmesikia nyinyi wote tumeongea hapa, you just reach out. We are maybe just custodians. That is what sustainability means. You're just holding spaces for people and supporting them. The last thing I could say is I mentioned the issue of what we could do with the universities and institutions. So I'm basically going to pick the issue of now Utali, Jaramogi, and now Maseno. I went to Maseno myself. It's good to say these things so that you don't look at us as like visitors here. I'm also a young person. The issue is this basically from the theme of the event we're having. And if you look at the crowd, basically you are a lot of youth here from different diverse areas. And whatever you're doing in your university or in your school, just link it to the issues we're talking about in terms of green or blue economy, and talk about if you want to measure something on cooking, maybe when mtumpishi tu, ama when unatengeneza mix, you're mixing all those things people drink, the nice things, or maybe you're the one who wants to go to link that to construction, or you want to be the person doing a tour travel company, because even travel, like you're saying, the whole system there, it becomes inclusive. It means that you can do work and match with other people doing like your work like yourself. I think that's what I could say. But then the last thing I would say is do not keep quiet, you reach out for the spaces. I think that's the basic thing.
As you have the mic, I'd like you to give your final word or encouragement to the youths and your parting shots.
What I can say is you see Kisumu doing sweet things, but they need to be practiced. Sustainability, the same thing. Nanyindo vijana, hii town iko na population, I think 61% of the youth are not employed. And it doesn't matter whether you're working or going to school. That is the statistics. So whatever the government is busy trying to do in Kisumu is kuwaletea opportunities. So mzikujia, I think that's what I can say. Look at departments, everything. When you're stuck somewhere, reach out. Usijione, we've had conversation where people are feeling like, and I specifically said I'm a millennial because hapa Kenya watu nasema millennials na baby boomers wako na shida, si ndio? But you see, there's no problem. What we're saying is, kila mtu akona role yake. You know, even us when we were young, we had similar things. So just play your role and play it in a conversational way. I mean, you can complain, but complain to get solutions. Just, are we getting each other well? Because I know you might be shocked. You'll be here and you are Gen Z basically, and you think that where to get what you want, if you don't think about the generations at the back of your, like maybe the betas and the alphas, theirs is much more serious than yours, but the government is trying to accommodate everyone. That's why we talk about inclusivity. So you need to help us accommodate what you need. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Felix. A round of applause to him, tafadhalini. So, Madam Hilda, you'll have the mic. Maybe what would you like to tell the youths? Your word of encouragement, your word of motivation, anything you feel you wanted to.
Water. It is an area maybe people don't look at so much. But right now what we're looking at is the impact of these plastics. It could be a bottle, a fishing gear or whatever. Because at the end of when they break down to what you're calling the microplastics. Maybe you can read about it later. So these ones, they are tiny, nindogo, you cannot see them. But they may end up in your fish, they may end up in the drinking water that you take. So it is important for us to make sure that we have sustainable practices on land because they will affect the water. So when you're doing the spatial plan, the Ministry of Land told us, no, even the lake, it is on land. Because the water is on land. So they were saying, no, we also have a stake in the lake because it is part of land. Yes. And you see, if it is hospitality, for example, even for the tourists, sometimes some hotels we talk to, they say they're incurring huge costs in terms of organizing cleanups on their beaches every morning. Because when they wake up in the morning, you know, the lake is not static. Huh? We have waves, pale, I don't know how many have been able to visit the lake. So you find out sometimes they keep depositing plastics and a lot of waste on their beaches. So you find a problem on land now becomes a problem for the water players. So the other challenge I'd like to do and encourage the youth also in terms of when you're thinking of innovative ideas and how to come in, I was looking at the tour safaris or these people who offer tourism services, you know, camping and all that perhaps it is time we start, you know, changing our focus and start looking into our waters because we have to utilize the resources that we have. Here in Kisumu, we have land resource. We also have Lake Victoria with us here. Take, for instance, the issue of the fishing charters. We don't have them here in Kisumu yet. Why don't we have them here? Yeah, so I'd like even for the youth or the people operating the small boats in our beaches here, if they're encouraged or supported into acquiring maybe a bigger vessel that can go deeper or in a long area, because this has been a challenge at the Kenyan coast. Because when we talked of the blue economy, we were looking at the Kenyan coastline, what you're calling EEZ. I don't know what they've had it, Economic Exclusive Zone. So sometimes we had people going up to 200 nautical miles. When you're measuring distance in the water, use nautical miles, not kilometers. But says unapata that we're encouraged to go beyond into 350 nautical miles. That's a long distance, which you cannot go on a canoe or a sailboat. It will not work for you. Yes, so what we're trying to encourage our people here, even as we thinking of ideas on how better to utilize our waters, is to think of maybe how, if you're looking for funding from the government or whatever place you're looking for, to try to think of how you can, you know, expand this and, you know, diversify into the deeper areas. Yeah, and again, also the other day when we were starting our meetings, I challenged the hotels that were there. Because when you visit other world cities, I was in Chicago the other day, and I visited Lake Michigan. And by Lake Michigan there, it was a beautiful city. But you find what they have done is this. They have protected their shoreline, wamejenga structures, very nice to protect the shoreline so that it does not keep eroding. Then by the shoreline, they have beautiful walkways, and then they have yachts, ndogo, zingine kubwa. Some of them are privately owned, others are owned by institutions. So if it is a hotel, maybe, perhaps you could even think of joining forces, because I know getting a yacht is not kidogo sana hivyo. You need a few dollars there. Yeah, so we can think of such areas so that we diversify tourism products. So when you have a tourist coming, staying in Kisumu, once they're visited here, they visit the land attractions of Mukuja Museum, Impala Park and all that, they can also go to the lake and do sport fishing, which I know is happening in the open waters. Open waters in Mbita, Mfangano, those deep areas, it's happening there. So why not have some of these facilities come all the way, trickle down to Kisumu? So it's time we change our thinking a bit. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me stand because we are pressed on time. Dave, I want to give you 2 minutes. Sure. 2 minutes.
Sure. I know, 2 minutes. Okay, I forgot to say that Dr. Capio said long ago, traditions dictated when it was time to go out to fish and when it was time for blackouts. Blackouts were necessary durations where fishing for commercial purposes was not allowed. Why? So that the lake could breathe and the fish stock could regenerate, so that fisherman akikuja kufish after 2 months anapata samaki. Now, my parting shot. If you look at how we understand water and the water stories, nani anajua story ya Nyamgondo? Nani anajua story ya Simbinyaima? Nani anajua Mami Wata from Senegal or West Africa? Nani anajua Nalubale, the story of the water goddess from Uganda? All those are powerful stories of water spirits that we can actually relate with to conserve our water heritage. And you have the opportunity to use the devices to look at the water stories around us, so that tourists wakikuja, hizo ndo vitu mnaanguka nazo. Sawa? Asanteni.
Thank you so much, Dave. Cleo, what is your parting shot?
I just want to encourage the youth to be passionate about R&D. In any field, like me, I was into sustainability. Be passionate, find solutions to any challenge in the field you are interested in, and be creative about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A round of applause to our very able panelists. Makofi mzito tafadhali. Si wametuangushia wisdom mzuri sana. They have given us more information that we would have asked for. We are very grateful to our panelists. At this point, first I want to give an engagement. James, you can award the gentleman and the lady who... Yes. They were two. Where's the other? Where's the lady? Yes. The gentleman? Yes. Yes. And wait, the lady is there. Yes, thank you so much, Dave. James, I'd want for us to appreciate the panelists for giving us wisdom and for being with us today. Yesterday we gave our panelists gifts. Philip, iko wapi zawadi ya watu ya panelists? We will see you later, but we really appreciate. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause as they leave the stage. As they leave the stage, I'd like to ask TRA to join us on stage, because we want to wind up and have a giver take the stage. We have Mr. Robinson from TRA. Kindly take the stage. I'll engage you for just a few minutes. So we'd like you to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and yes.
So thank you for this opportunity. My name is Robinson Mwenda Njuki. I work at TRA as the Deputy Director for this region. TRA is Tourism Regulatory Authority. and TRA is mandated to regulate the sector. So we are the people who ensure that everyone is working in line with the standards, is complying to the standards, and we have a number of roles and activities that we play, which probably I may not exhaustively be able to mention to you at this juncture. But just to mention a few highlights and key areas that we cover. One is licensing of all tourism service providers according to the Tourism Act 2011. So we cover all the way from accommodation facilities to event planners, to tour operators, to travel agencies, and so on and so forth. After that, we do accreditation, and we can conduct quality assurance audits to ensure that we actually adhere to the standards. So TRA itself has developed 21 standards, so which cut across all the tourism facilities. And then after that, we do also the classification of hotels, which is basically the star rating, so across the region. And we have the ESC criteria, which guides us, so ensuring that standards are maintained. So a standard that is, let's say if we have an accredited hotel or a star-rated hotel operating in, let's say, Mombasa, and an accredited hotel at a certain level in Kisumu, you find that it's ensuring that they are operating at the same level of standard. We do handle complaints from tourists and also from businesses, so B2B and also C2B, so businesses to businesses and clients to businesses. So we do handle complaints related to that, and we are able to work with the tourist police unit to resolve that. So we do also offer sensitization on the incentives that are available. So we have incentives for those who are investing within the sector, especially now for tour operators. We do offer incentives in collaboration with the KRA. You can get a VAT exemption to buy the land cruisers and to invest in that. And for the hoteliers, we do also offer incentives. There's a list of items which we can provide you with, especially the ones who are planning to do investment in that area, so that you can be able to get some custom duty exemption. In addition to that, we also do basic inventory just to find out how many tourism activities, enterprises, and services are being offered for purposes of planning. And we have many, many other roles that we play. And I think the others we can be able to exhaust and clarify on our tent. We have a tent just right outside, and can be able to explain. We have a team which can be able to explain that. So thank you.
Before I let you go, I know of interest, I was informed to ask about youth and fair employment at Tourism Regulatory Authority. How does that look like over there? And as you also answer that, I know you have touched a little bit about it. You can as well give us a word of encouragement or your parting shot for our youth, since we have the youth here today. Just a word to them as well.
So for the tourism sector, it's a sector, we say, the main characteristics of the tourism sector, among the 5 main characteristics, one is that it is very labor intensive. And you find that for 1 in every 10 to 11 jobs, actually within the country and within the globe are within the tourism sector. So it is a very high employer. And we know also it is private sector driven. So for our case as a regulator, what we do is to ensure that, in line with sustainability, is to ensure that we are continuously improving the standards of our products and our services through accreditation, as I said, through the quality assurance audit. So we have teams going round. so that now we can enhance the economic sustainability. I know we've talked about the environmental sustainability, we've talked about also the social aspect of the sustainability, but we also need to enhance the economic sustainability. So we need to have tourists returning. We can do marketing, but as long as you find that the product at the ground is not as per the standard and does not meet the consumer's need and does not meet the consumer's expectation, the tourist will not come back.
Yes.
So us is to just ensure that we are pushing so that now we can have those standards maintained. And it is a continuous journey. We always say that the pursuit of quality is a continuous.
From the cultural aspect of this event. Thank you so much. Bwana Mwangi.
Aya, makofi kwa daktari tafadhali. Honorable Ziri, this has been the second session of the today, which is our second day of the conference. Without much ado, I think as the team is preparing, I'd like you to welcome you just to make a few remarks. Then you can invite our guest. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I stand guarded. At this point, I would like to welcome Bwana Nyaoro, kuja useme mawili matatu, alafu tuendelee.
Thank you. All protocol observed. Good morning. There was a speaker who said that we have very good policies. We have all laws in Kenya and they are very good. But how do we impact them into the youth so that they can use them? First of all, the youths, you must put your prides aside, because that's why we are having you people being taken for attachments in various institutions. By doing that, you are being taken there to learn what those people are doing, so that you will also do it the next day. Like me now, I'm going away. Who will take over from me? It is you people. But once you put your pride aside, then you learn positively, you will be equipped enough. You will have a lot of equipment so that you can take up the mantle. I just wanted to say, because he said, how do we tell you how to go about this, the laws that are there? Put your prides aside, then learn positively. There was somebody who was doing an interview to employ people. Then he came in scratches. Then he just pretended to see who will welcome or who will attend to him or to her so that he could do it. Those who passed just and going without even noticing what is going on did not go through. But there was one who said, no, can I help you, please? Then he showed the way. So put your prides aside, learn positively, you will also be like others. Thank you.
Makofi kwake tafadhali. Bwana ICC, kuja usalimia wananchi wako.
To the CEC, tourism, national and county government staff that are here, all other stakeholders, students, good afternoon. Daktari had mentioned that I'm the county commissioner. I'm not the county commissioner. I'm an assistant county commissioner, senior assistant county commissioner. And from the office of the CC, it is encouraging that more and more youths are getting involved in the tourism space, as witnessed today here. We also wish to encourage you to avail yourself in those positions that our government are creating in the tourism sector. The national government has focused so much energy in improving infrastructure to enable you young people participate in the tourism sector. That includes Kisumu. For example, we are talking about improving Jaramogi Oginga Hospital. Then we are partnering also with the county government to improve the stadium, the Moi Sports Stadium, and other areas, including the airport, including the port. So we are encouraging you as young people to take advantage of these positions. The government cares for you. The national government cares for you as the young people. So we are availing more and more opportunities for you. But it will be encouraging for you to take up these opportunities once they are mentioned through our offices. With those few remarks, I wish to encourage you to continue supporting this event and to avail yourself through to the end of it all. And may God bless you.
Makofi kwake tafadhali. Haya, meanwhile waziri akimaliza tutasonga hivi ndio watu wapate nafasi ya kudance. You are allowed to put something. It is called tengo. It is greeting of the musician. I don't know how to, have I said right, Mr. Nyauro? Eh? You must greet the musician. So una 50, so ndio kazi vitu. At this juncture, I would like to welcome Madam Waziri to make your remarks. Karibu sana, Madam.
Vijana hai. Daktari. Who is Daktari? I want to appreciate you big time for having coordinated this. I want to appreciate all the panelists, wherever they are, together with our partners who put all this together so that we all enjoy. How many of you have enjoyed the sessions? Hata mimi nimeenjoy. We've learned. Sindio? Now, it is one thing to learn, and it is another thing to put what you have learned into practice. Don't leave here with all this knowledge and you don't go to do anything tangible with it. That is my message for you as we conclude this. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you also big time for having sat in through and, you know, concentrated to also get something from this tourism week for Kisumu. Wangapi wanakumbuka my name? Na wengine? Wengine ilipotea? Waziri wa nini? Tulisema ni waziri wa nini? Kwa Kiswahili jamani. Sasa hata nyinyi majenzi mnataka kusema mjui Kiswahili. Mnajua English. Daktari, umesikia maneno? Lakini Kiswahili ni lugha ya taifa. And it's also part of our culture. Si ni kweli? Waziri wa utalii, waziri wa biashara, utalii, vyama vya ushirika, viwanda na mauzo. Ukisahau shauri yako, lakini nimewaambia. So thank you guys, thank you so much. Let's engage more. We hope to have sustained conversations. This one was our first one with you, and we are going to have many more, bigger and better. So thank you for making it happen in this inaugural one. Tujipigie makofi bwana. And feel proud to have been part and parcel of this one. It is the first one that we are doing with the youth. Kwa hivyo, it's a very important course that you sat in through for. So we'll invite you for others, subsequent ones, and I know they will become bigger and better. So let's keep it there. Tukiwaita tafadhali, come and come in big numbers. At some point, we'll also bring other government officials to join you. For today, ni mimi ndio nawakilisha gavana, nawakilisha naibu wa gavana, actually hii ni sura ya Kisumu. Sawa? Bwana, nimevaa viatu vingi. Sima munipigie makofi. I am here representing the face of the county government of Kisumu and received greetings. Yesterday I met with Professor and he said a big hi to all of you. I know in the subsequent ones, inshallah means God willing, he will join us at some point. Sawa sawa. Thank you very much. To the panelists, tuwapigie pia makofi bwana. That is awesome, eh? Thank you so much, the panelists, na tutembe pamoja. In the subsequent ones, I hope we will join hands together. Thank you.
Aya, makofi kwa waziri tafadhali. Makofi kwa waziri. Aya, sasa tusonge nyuma kidogo, sasa muone magic. Sasa msonge tu nyuma kidogo. All the panelists tafadhali, let's converge by Dr. Kamau pale ili tuwakilishe tuendelee waziri. Ages.
story. People are seated just like you are. Some had pictures just like you are. The only difference is they sang happily. They sang happily and they sang in different tones. The tenors in tenor, altos in alto, bass in bass, and soprano in more. Let me see if you can match them. Nyamani tamusana, tamusana, nyamani tamusana. Oh, nyamani tamusana, tamusana, nyamani tamusana. The people of Kungulu Pangla did things too much. If talking it was too much. Sitting too much. Talking too much. Eating too much. Using picture too much. Hey. And they did things together. They walked together, sat together, ate together, sang together, everything together. But then there was a rule in that land. You were expected to eat each and every meat, but eating on Yek Maraj, the hyena, was a taboo to Samoa. It was Samoa. So they ate all the meats. They eat goat meat, they ate. Cow meat, they ate. Kuku water, they ate. Kuku half, they ate. Kukuru kakara, they ate. Kuku denja, they ate all the meat, but eating on the Yek Maraj, the hyena was Samoa. Was Samoa? Nyama, nyama, nyama. Nyama, nyama, nyama. Ya ng'ombe, ya mbuzi, ya kondoo, ya Onyek They ate all the meat, but eating Onyek Samoa. But one day, a heavy drought fell upon the land. The sun danced on the sky as it sucked the last drop of moisture from the ground. You could hear women crying hunger. You could hear men crying hunger. You could hear everybody crying hunger. In frustration, then they looked at the children in isolation. As they were crying hunger, Father afield lived on the Yek Maraj, the hyena. On the Yek Maraj, on the Yek Maraj. The hyena grew fat and fat and fat, big and began, but eating it was. So they sat down. Some 6 young men sat down. They thought and thought and thought. They thought and thought. Oh, they thought and thought and thought. And after thinking, they thought again. They thought a thought. Then one of them said, if eating the hyena is a taboo, what about chasing it? Taboo? No. Taboo? No. So they chased and chased. They chased and chased. No, they chased and chased. They chased and chased. a taboo. What about killing it? Taboo? No. Killing taboo? No. So they killed it, and it lay there dead. But eating is angoa? Taboo. What's angoa? Taboo. Hey! If eating it is still a taboo, what about just killing it? Taboo? No. Skinning taboo? No. So there is skin and skin. 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 There is skin and the hyena lay there without skin. But eating it was still angoa? Hey! If eating it is still a taboo, what about cutting them into pieces? Not a taboo? Taboo? No. Taboo? No. Taboo? No. So they made pieces. Long pieces, short pieces, medium pieces, large pieces. Long pieces, short pieces, medium pieces, hey, long pieces, short pieces, medium pieces, hey, long pieces, medium pieces. And the hyena was in all the pieces, including peas, legs. Peas are more? Yes. Peas, legs, more? Yes. Oh, I think peas, legs is small. It is. A small piece and piece left. Hey. Okay, you think, someone laughing. You think, I know Kisumu, let me see. People, person. If a small book is called a small book is called? A small book is called? Pig. A small pig is called? A small pig is called? Now a small pig is called? Now a small toy is called? The hyena was there in all the pieces, but eating it was taboo. Was taboo. Yeah, what I say? If eating it is still a taboo, what about? What about? What about? What about? What about telling? No. What about roasting it? Taboo? 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 So they made fire. Fire here, fire there, fire kai, fire kacha. Fire here, fire kai, hey, fire here, fire there. And behold, the hyena began to roast. It roasted and roasted. Roasted and roasted. It roasted and roasted. Roasted and hey, roasted and hey, roasted and. As it was getting roasted, it produced sounds of twitch and twitch. Which are more? Twitch and twitch. 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 What? Twitch. What? Twitch. Here you are. And behold, the aroma of the roasting onicorage began to assault the nostrils. Feel the aroma. Feel it. I know it's like I feel it. But eating it was. Eating it was. See, at this point, they reached a dead end. Kwa hiyo ungefanyaje? 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 One of them say, if eating it is a taboo, what about? What about? No. If eating it is taboo, what about putting salt next to it? Taboo? Putting kachumbari next to it? Taboo? No. Put salt next to it. Kachumbari next to it. Pili pili hoho. Pili pili hehe. Pili pili haha. Pili pili hihi. Even pili pili usioila they put next to it. But eating it was? Eating it was? Then one of them, as cheeky as someone I'm seeing there, said, people, hello. Yes. Hello. If eating it is a taboo, what about tasting? Taboo? 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 Oh! Tasting was not a taboo. So they tasted and tasted. They tasted and tasted. They tasted and tasted. life was no more. So, the following day at the crack of dawn, people woke up to find bones of Ondiek Maharaj in the compound. The question was, who ate Ondiek Maharaj? Hey, who ate Ondiek Maharaj? Again, who ate Ondiek Maharaj? I want to know who ate Ondiek Maharaj? Nobody was willing to admit. But the chief, the wisest of them all, knew how to find such people. You know what he did? You know? The chief went straight to the public toilet and waited from there. You see, all this season of hunger and famine, there was no input. So there should be no output. No input, so no output. The chief waited for them all. Within no time, first person, toilet. Second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person, sixth person, the chief went on the toilet. And he didn't know the names. But within no time, they began telling the names. From the toilet came the first name. Moses. The chief wrote, which name? Moses. Then came the second name in Usain Bolt, or manual kind of speed. Pius! The chief wrote what? Pius. Then came the third name. Softly but swiftly. Yusuf. The chief wrote, Yusuf. Then came the fourth name in a thunderous kind of manner. Yeah, come on. Barnabas. The chief wrote, and Barnabas. Then came the other name in a question mark form. In a question mark form. Unjiadi. The chief wrote all the names. Then, within no time, it was stomachache, stomachache, tumbo ache, stomachache, stomachache, tumbo ache, stomachache, mama yakaya, mama yakaya, mama yakaya, mama yakaya, mama yakaya, mama yakaya, mama yakaya. Mama yakaya, mama yakaya. They all complained of stomachache, and within no time, they died of what is called itumbo chapa chapation disease. Itumbo chapa chapation disease. So one day, as the chief was walking by, the chief saw people seated the same way you are seated. Looking as you are looking. The chief decided to talk to them the same way I am talking to you. The chief told them two things. One, what kills a man? What kills a man? What kills a man? What kills a man begins with an appetite. What kills a man begins with appetite. What spoils a thing begins with? What kills a nation begins with an appetite. So watch over your appetite. Then the chief told them that if you sleep with dirty buttocks, do not be surprised to wake up with smelling fingers. That was my story on the good. If my story was good, let it live to be told, untold, untold. Let it live to be told, untold, untold. To Tinda, Adong Gibao, Makanira. Thank you. We were story makers, SMS, working collaboration with African Donor Shield. We also have our brother here from Talent Theatre. He has performance to deliver. Makofi kwake.
Saseni, habari zenu? Top shoulder? Top shoulder? Okay. My name is Franklin Ian Kobe, producer, Talents Theatre, Kenya. Our main thing is to perform. We do theatre. We tell stories, our story, African story, through theatre and film. Okay, just a question to start. Luos. Tuliambia tuweze kutoka wapi? Luos kutoka wapi? Sudan. But imagine Luos walitoka Egypt. Yeah, we can trace the history of Luos from Egypt. Then from Egypt to Sudan. Imagine the word Khartoum is a low word. Luos were perfect for music. So walikuwa na place itwa Khartoum. Yeah. And due to war and other things, migrated, walitoka, then Arabs walikuja. Because ilikuwa hard for them to pronounce the word Khartoum. And they named it Khartoum, according to their accent. So, how can we get these stories? Come and really perform them. Aya, other people from Oma Bay, the story of Kasikul. Now the Widwere Dakwa MP. Look, Kasikul was a dog. Yeah, the dog of somebody called Rachuonyo. Rachuonyo was a big person, adopted son, of a person called Chien. So, okay. So just to make it brief, eh? How can we know the story of those people? Kasipul, the great constituency. Aya, the story of Luos. From there, Egypt. To now we are in Kisumu. How can we know this without performing them? I was thinking that apart from selling the animals to the tourism, okay, and inviting them to come and watch this. Can we just have a place where they can watch our stories? Are you getting it? So that you can know our stories. That's why Talents Theatre Kenya came. We need to tell our stories. So we are telling the stories, African stories, our stories, your stories, so that we can bank them. And through theatre, we can develop our seat. Are you getting it? Are we together today? Yes. So that is what we do as theatre, and because it's lunchtime, staff burdens are many. We do days and films. You can come, you can visit us through our website and so on. My name is Franklin Kobe. My colleagues are there. Yes, just say hi. Thank you very much. I think because of time you can just keep it so that you can go for lunch. Thank you. Sorry? Don't do my best. DJ.